Okay, guys, I'm expecting a good girlfriend to come by, but I want to talk to you about Section 8 real estate investing. So there's a question that I get asked every time I go speak at any kind of conference or event. People always ask me about my best and worst Section 8 real estate investing experience. So let's go ahead and talk about that now. I'll get ready for my friend's arrival. It's going to make a quick salad for her. I am not a professional cook, chef. I'm just a mom who does what I can do. Okay. All right. If you don't know, I am Ashley Lorraine, M.Ed, also known as the Section 8 lady. And today we're going to talk about my best and worst Section 8 investments. So there is one that I talk about more than any. It is my very first buy and hold property. So this was about maybe 7 or 8 years ago. Before that, I was a wholesaler. If you're familiar with wholesalers, our job is to just find properties at a really good deal. We get them under contract, and then we sell our assignable interest to an investor who ultimately buys the property. And in my career at that time, I was a school principal, right? So very professional, master's degree, pretty much only around other people who are, highly educated. So you just assume everyone is like you. So when I went to buy my first buy and hold property, I bought it in a city where I grew up because I just felt like I had friends and family there who could have my back. Whereas most of my wholesaling was in Texas, about 1,500 miles away. So I linked up with a wholesaler in Ohio, and he sent me over the deals that he had. And there was a house that I really, really liked. Didn't look like it was going to need a whole lot of work, and I wanted to get it Section 8 ready. I already knew I wanted Section 8 to be my exit. There was no question about that. My mentor has been doing Section 8 for 30 years now. Anyway, I digress. So the wholesaler sends me over the property. I love it. So of course, I signed the agreement, and the agreement is then sent to the title company. At this point, remember, I'm a school principal, so I have a very busy job. I also have two children, and I'm like 8 months pregnant. So to celebrate our first buy and hold property, we wanted to go up north and just be a part of the process, be a part of the rehab, really get our hands dirty. So I had 2 weeks for Christmas break to go up there. Super pregnant, by the way. Couldn't fly because I was too pregnant. So we drove our family of four up all the way up to Ohio. And we were like checking out contractors, getting bids from them, viewing the property. We were so proud of it. And we wanted to be up there at the closing table, to close it out. So we arrived on the day we were supposed to close, and the wholesaler's like, oh, closing got delayed, blah, 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 which is normal, right? I have been a wholesaler for a while, so I know closings do get delayed. No problem. Meanwhile, we're still getting bids, for contractors and things like that. So a day or two passes, and I'm reaching out to the wholesaler like, hey, we're up here to close. Like we only have 2 weeks to get this house rent ready. We got to get started now. I was like, oh, don't worry about it. We ended up changing title companies, but they said they're going to transfer the file and the title commitment, so don't worry. So like, cool. So we press for time. We find a contractor that we like, and we're like, yeah, just go ahead and let's start getting the repairs done. Let's start getting the house ready. We're going to be closing in a couple of days anyway. No problem. So now a week and a half passes. We're still not closing. We're talking to this wholesaler, every day. We're hearing all these excuses. And by this time, most of the house is done and rehabbed. So we have put in maybe about 20 or $25,000 towards getting this house rehabbed in cash. We didn't do any loans or anything like that. We wanted to, I like debt free. Oh man. So I think you already know where this story is going. Long story short, the house never closes, but the house is now fully rehabbed, but we don't own it, right? Because it still belongs to the seller. All the wholesaler could say was, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I usually do a better job than this. What happened was there ended up being about $80,000 worth of liens on this property. Now the property itself isn't worth more than 40 or $50,000, right? We bought it from the wholesaler for 10K. We put 25K into it. I mean, the house that's all it was worth, right? So it could not possibly cover this $80,000 lien on it. I'm pregnant, I'm freaking out. I used our entire life savings to take a risk on this. And now we have a house that we fully rehab that belongs to somebody else. Whew! Thank God I had experience as a wholesaler, and thank God I don't mind reaching out for help. So I called my mentor, help, oh my God. Tried to buy this house. Now the title company won't close it. It has $80,000 worth of liens, but I have already rehabbed this house. All my life savings are in it. If this seller sees the house, there's no way they're going to sell it to us now. And they can't because of all the liens. My mentor points me in the right direction of a few people to talk to. Oh man, every time I talk about this, I start getting a little anxious. So I had to become a researcher, right? I had to figure it out. So I did get the full title report and I saw where the liens came from. So some of the liens were like mortgage lien, and there was like unemployment liens and things like that. Then I found out that this house was actually probated. It was owned by an LLC of a real estate investor. And when this real estate investor passed away, he left